First is I live across the bridge, and to arrive here this morning, many rivers to cross. And when we got to the entrance, I think it was some security check that we were here for another 20 minutes before my colleague came there to walk me to the arena. So I do apologize. I want to stand on the existing protocol, but I'm going to congratulate my friend and brother, Adebayo, for staying the course.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
I also must appreciate my worthy colleague, Dr. Telecom, for the very brilliant presentation. I came in when he was making his presentation, and we must appreciate the work that he does in the digital space. So Dr. Oka, once again, we say a big thank you. Well done for all your immense contributions. The progress made by the industry is quite significant. It is significant to the extent that we have now seen what is our contribution to national economy and to GDP. Unfortunately, in view of the Japa syndrome, we've lost a lot of our best and brightest. And when I spoke with people who are experts in migration, they told me that migration will never cease. But people will continue to migrate for different reasons. And in the last intervention we had with the UN, they said to me that we should be pleased as a country that we have candidates that are worthy and acceptable to the world. Because really and truly, while many of our young ones are living, there are also many countries that their citizens are not admitted to those countries that our people are visiting. So what it shows is that the brains and the hands we are developing here are worthy enough as international ambassadors to represent us across the planet. And therefore, I think as an industry, we should begin to look at the bright side of the Japa syndrome. Having lost a number of our young people, we need to begin to think about how best it is that while the social situation in the country will not allow them to be here for a number of reasons that we understand, out of which even myself have encountered this morning, how is it possible for us to make them work in Nigeria, where they live? And to Dr. Koka and his colleagues, who are the people who do a lot on artificial intelligence, I think this is something that you may want to begin to think about. How can we engage a lot of our young and brightness who are today resident in other jurisdictions to be able to function and work here, contribute their own quota to our national economic development? Because at the end of the day, a few of us who have crossed the median, we need to hand over to these people. Our children are trained at that, they don't want to come back, but we also don't want to lose their best in our national economic development. So please, I want us to think through that as a people and as an industry. The other thing I need to talk about is when we talk about the progress of the industry, and we look at the challenges that we face. Many a times, we're looking at the mobile network operators. He spoke about ISPs who can be somewhere. There may be a need for a regulator to look at some responsibility on the big players to allow the small players to survive. When I came into this role, we had 35 members in ALTON. Today we are barely 16. And what that means is that some changes has happened. A number of the early players will no longer survive because of challenges of competition. So while we celebrate the success made by the big players, there's a need for us to look at what kind of mechanism can we put in place to protect the young ones, the smaller players, that they can continue to survive and play in this space. One last comment I would like to bring to bear today is this issue of multiple taxation. We've been talking about it now for many years, and I'm glad I can see my friend and brother here, Marconi, who has written brilliant articles about the impact of multiple taxation. And I'm not sure to go, I hear the FIS people are here. I hear they're here.
Yes, they're here.
And they have a very big stand outside. I was just whispering to my colleague that when people know that the tax man is in attendance, I don't know how many people will be willing to actually stay because of this issue of multiple taxation. Because as they collect in Abuja, so they collect in the state. And when you go to the state, you argue that taxes have been paid. They say to you, Abuja is Abuja, local government, and you really cannot blame them for many reasons. But I think that maybe if we look at our tariff regime, I said it a few days ago, it may not be appropriate to continue to have one national tariff. Because if cost of providing service in a particular jurisdiction is high, then cost charges in those areas should reflect the cost of service provision. So if you have a state that have introduced 50 different taxes and levies on operators, no problem, recognize what they expect, but pass it on to the subscribers in those locations. Otherwise, we may continue to talk about this again and again for many years to come. These are things I want to congratulate my friend and brother, Engineer Adebayo, once again, and his team for the good work that they have made. And as I said to you earlier, please, thanks for staying the course and continue to stay the course. And I wish you all here the very best. Thank you.
Excellent.